It's Halloween. It's October 31st. Thursday. Trick-or-treaters by the hundreds, if not thousands. We're going to start a poll. As always, this one's going to be about Halloween. Do you enjoy Halloween? And then we'll say yes, no, and then another one says, what's Halloween? There we go. And there we go. Poll has been started. I got Sweetie here beside me. I got my cup of coffee. The sun is rising behind me. Hopefully today will be a good day. We'll see. The weather's nice. I'm eating a... What is this thing? Almond butter biscuit, they call it. Pretty good. It's a Nature Valley, like granola bar type thing. Yeah, no, you can't have it. You're Sweetie. I want it. Can I have your granola bar? I want the granola bar. You can't have granola bars. I fed you this morning and I gave you a rawhide and everything. I gave you all kinds of stuff this morning. She acts like she's starving to death. Hello. Who we got this morning already? That's nice. Pengangarin. Hello. Liam's here. Sweetie here thinks, I think she was, people gave her food from the table when she was from a previous owner, because every time I try to eat something, she comes up here and just is most alert. Investing with Dan. Yeah, I remember you. Good morning, everybody. It's that McGregor guy. Oh, man. I should dress up as McGregor, right? That would be excellent. Dress up as McGregor and go around and fight people on the streets during Halloween. McGregor's dad. That boy better pay up then. If I'm his dad. Conor McGregor's dad. All these people calling me Conor McGregor, and I still haven't really looked him up. I know what he looks like, and I know of him, but I don't know. Nice hot coffee. It's Halloween, guys. Halloween. My neighborhood gets literally 1,000 trick-or-treaters. I'll show you tonight. I'll probably do a little live stream tonight. And, yeah, liquid energy. That's the mug. Boom. Well, I'm glad I brightened up your day, Dan. Appreciate that. All you guys getting on here talking to me every morning brightens my day. And the sun is about to come up, and that'll brighten everybody's day. Right? 1,000 trick-or-treaters, literally, will be coming through this. I'm eating a almond butter granola bar. I had a banana earlier, so I kind of ate healthy this morning. But when these trick-or-treaters come through this neighborhood, it's insane. They have to block off the entrance to the neighborhood. Happy birthday, Dixon Diaz. Halloween's your birthday? Dang. They block off the entrance. There's a parking lot across the street for this other public building. And they just walk in here, and there's hundreds and hundreds of these kids. And walking with their parents and stuff, trick-or-treating, and, all that kind of good stuff. None of that trunk or treat they do nowadays where everybody goes to a parking lot and they just go from car to car, which is kind of lame. I don't know. Let your kids run around and get some candy. There were creeps back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s when we did it. Indonesia. Hey, Eric's from Indonesia. That's cool. Getting people from around the world. I like that. Our little poll's getting taken off already. We got one or two people that don't even know what Halloween is. We'll explain that in a second. I did my little research this morning. Wikipedia, if you call that research. That it was actually celebrated thousands of years ago by the Celts. Halloween, the origin of Halloween. Am I dressing up? No, but normally last year I didn't do anything. I just turned the lights out and sat in the house, played on the computer. This year I bought a fog machine. And normally I living here would give candy out to all the little kids. So but they're gonna get tons of candy anyway. And but anywho, so I thought I'd do something a little creepy. George is good. You're supposed to scare people on Halloween, right? And be kind of crazy and weird and stuff like that. Need some boxing gloves during my stream. You don't celebrate it? Where are you from? Rob something something Keith. I don't know. People don't trick or treat neighborhoods anymore. They go to these events called trunk or treats. I had to take my kids to trunk or treats because if you went to people's houses, they look like you were crazy. What are you doing on my front porch? I'm like, it's Halloween. My kids are here dressed up. So bizarre. I guess we're one of the last few neighborhoods in the area that really participate. And a lot of houses are decorated and stuff like that. But I'm going to have a sign out front that says no candy. And I got a fog machine. It's going to be fog up the front yard. Hopefully it's not windy. Then I'm just going to sit on the front porch with my airsoft gun. It's a plastic gun that shoots plastic pellets. But it looks like an AR-15. So I'm going to be sitting there with a trucker hat on, flannel shirt, and just kind of rocking in a chair on the front porch with a big sign that says no candy. They already talk about us in this neighborhood anyway. So, happy Halloween, guys. Yeah, the Celts evidently started Halloween. Where's Russell, my fact checker? Big dog. That's sad. That's not sad. I think it's great. I'm going to video it, and I want to see their reactions. That's somebody else asked me about, what if they call the police on me? Well, there's a couple of things here in the United States. One, I can have a gun in my property, in my house. I'm not going to be pointing it at people. I'm just going to be holding it. And if the cops actually show up and like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you're supposed to scare people on Halloween, and this is a plastic gun. I'm not hurting anybody. And then they'll walk away. There's nothing they can do. People are carrying guns on the streets on a regular day. And it's an airsoft gun. I'll show them. It's like it takes batteries. It's in the back. You know, it's like I'm not shooting anybody. The Grimace Shake from McDonald's. I have not tried it. But yeah, they can't do anything. Even if they try, it's like, you know, guys, this is a plastic gun. I'm just sitting up here minding my own business. I got a sign that says no candy because I didn't want people on my front porch. Yeah, I put a fog machine out, but that's it. And people will just be looking and pointing, and I won't wave. They're just going to be that weird guy. People will be talking like, oh. And then that Nextdoor app. I'm sure somebody on the Nextdoor app is going to be like, this one guy did this. It was so creepy. Yeah, pellet guns, BB guns are no joke. I mean, you can get hurt. No candy, bro. None at all. I'm not going to point a gun at kids. I'm just going to be holding it. I'm going to be sitting there in a chair, rocking back and forth, holding it like some weird redneck trucker guy. So, yeah. I don't care. And Rachel, she didn't say anything. She's not stopping me, so. What are we going to do? I need to be arrested for banishing a firearm. There's like open carry permits. People are walking through Walmart with pistols on their hips every day of the year. And that's in public. It's in public. And I'm carrying a plastic gun. Yeah, you can't scare kids and people. I'm sure there'll be a couple Karens out there screaming at me or something. Oh, it's gonna be weird. I'm not trying to tip. I'm just gonna be sitting there on the porch. Anyway, I'm not gonna argue with you, Cure. I don't think I'm hurting anybody. And I'm not gonna get on the whole tangent about guns and stuff like that. But it'll probably freak the parents out more than the kids. Because kids are playing games with guns all day, every day. They're saturated with guns and gun violence all the time. I'm not saying it's right, but they're like accustomed to it. I don't think the kids are going to be shocked at all. It's the parents that are going to freak out. Kids will be like, oh, look at that, he plays Fortnite. Oh, well. I'm not trying to cause any controversy. I'm just trying to have a little fun. Let's see. We got more people voting on the thing. Most everybody knows what Halloween is, or enjoys it. A couple people don't. I don't think anyone's going to freak out either, Big Dog. They're just going to be looking and walking by. Like, what? I bet more people will be pissed off at my no candy sign than they will be me holding the gun on the front porch. And I bet you, we'll wager something. We'll wager to see how many people walk past the no candy sign and ask me for candy. Oh, I should have one bag of candy for the brave souls or the illiterate people that walk past my no candy sign. And I'm like, you're brave enough to come up here past my no candy sign through this fog with me up here with a gun. Here's a Snickers. It should be a criminal charge. Oh my gosh. Listen to all the birds. I haven't deleted any comments, and I have no moderators, so I'm not sure how your comment got deleted. But anyway. Yeah, turn the lights off. That's what I did last year. I just turned the lights off around the whole house. No decorations of any kind. And they just walk right by. I mean, not every house in the neighborhood's decorated, handing out candy. There's plenty of houses that don't. There's some older people. They're not going to be handing out candy. They're not decorating their yards. Nah. And I'm in Georgia. I mean, it's like Texas. Everybody's got a gun. I mean, does the gun have to be hot pink to portray that I'm not going to hurt anybody? I bet if I had... Well, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Nope. Not going to say that. Let's light some incense again. I got my little... You're in Greene County? Cure, you are right down the road from me. Literally right down the road from me. So you'll probably see it in the paper or something, or the Nextdoor app. I'm not gonna say which county I am. I just say that I'm in the Atlanta area, but we'll say I'm within 30 minutes of you. Tootsie rolls together into a shape of a turd. Oh, we used to roll people's yards. Remember that? Go around and toilet paper people's yards, lighting some incense. Remember that? And they'd come out screaming, and they just have toilet paper all on their trees and all in the yards and bushes. They don't do that anymore. You go to jail. You throw a roll of toilet paper these days. Gosh, it's just like, I don't know. I missed a few comments. Let's see what we got here. They'll be weirded out. Yeah. It's nothing to load. It's an airsoft gun. It's a plastic gun. And it would have to have batteries in it, of which the battery packs I have are old and dead. So, yeah, toilet paper's too expensive. You couldn't toilet paper people's yards during COVID. It was too valuable. Suburban Legend says hi. Am I related to Shane Gillis? No, he's a funny guy, but I am not related to him. I'm not related to anybody popular. Although people say I look like Conor McGregor's dad. There's not going to be any problem. I'm not worried about it. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. And if they say something's like, hell, at least I'm participating. I'm not being a Scrooge. You know? Yeah, I won't go to jail if I'm an illegal immigrant. I've seen those stories online too. There's not going to be any problem. McGregor, Slim Shady. Happy Halloween, people. So what are you guys doing if you are celebrating or enjoying Halloween? What are you guys doing for it? You going to give out candy? You going to go to a party? You going to do anything like that today? Throw it in the comments. Let's talk about it. So yesterday I was supposed to take some cats to the vet yesterday. I took off work to go to the vet for these 2 cats. You're at work, hate the job. Thanks, Trash Bag, Slim Shady. Everybody saying hi. But it was a complete debacle yesterday. These 2 cats, they're indoor cats only. And they just needed their yearly checkup. So it was my job to take off from work and put these guys in carriers and take them to the vet. Well, that did not go as planned. One cat I was able to get in a crate, no problem. The other one ended up escaping and running out of the house. And I spent the rest of the day from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. looking for this cat. Yeah. So I spent hours and hours looking for this cat, who ended up just being underneath the steps of the deck. Just chilling there, calling his name, running around. Conor McGregor's from your country? That's cool. Couldn't find this cat to save my life. And there he was. And then it took another hour once we found him to coax him back to the door to get inside the house. So yeah, no cats went to the vet. It was a total mess. Yeah, it's not as... I think Halloween's still popular. It's just they do it completely different. The trunk or treats and... My parents didn't walk me around in the 80s to trick or treat. They just kicked me out the door in a plastic costume and said, come back in an hour or two. You know? It was... Oh, man. The internet has scared people too much. That's my theory. The internet has scared people too much. I know. You just walk for hours, just walking around total strangers' houses. We would cross the highway to another neighborhood, go all around them and trick or treat. We were all over the place. It was just from every house, yeah. I remember one lady, she wouldn't have candy, but she had a change jar, and she would give you a handful of change. I'm sorry, I don't have any candy. Here's some money. It'd be like 50, 60 cents in change. Oh, me. Now they tried to kidnap you. Here's my theory, and it's just my theory, my opinion. Yeah, pillowcase is full of candy. What is this? Jeffrey Dahmer might be around the corner. Oh yeah, and the guy that gave out toothbrushes for Halloween. What the? Don't get cavities with all that candy. Oh. All these, and I'm not trying to justify it or celebrate it or anything like that. You have Halloween down in Australia? Awesome. All these different crimes and atrocities and weirdos and creeps have always been there since the beginning of time. They've always been there for hundreds, thousands of years. They've been living right beside you. They've been living down the street from you. They've been doing crazy stuff around you. And you never really heard about it because if it didn't get in the 6 o'clock news, you wouldn't have known what would happen 30 minutes from your house or an hour from your house if it wasn't in the 6 o'clock news or the newspaper on Sunday. And a lot of stuff never, and then little towns would hush that stuff. If something crazy happened in their town, they would hush it. They would quail it right then and there. The best they could. They put the guy in jail or something like that, and like, oh, nothing happened. We took care of it. They didn't want their town to look bad. But there's been killers, rapists, traffickers, molesters, and they've always been there. They didn't just happen the past 20, 30 years with the internet and stuff. It's just now that the internet is out, every person with a camera is a newscaster, and you see and hear everything from around the world 24/7 thrown in your face all the time. And then everybody's shocked. They're like, oh my gosh, all these killings and riots and everything going on around the world, and it's all falling apart, and it's the end of times, and we're all gonna die, and then all this. It's always been there. It's always been there. It's just now it's out in the open more than anything. And then there was that, I guess it was the 80s or 90s, one person allegedly put a razor blade in something, and then everybody in the world freaked out. You know? And then we were like chopping our candy up to make sure it wasn't having anything in it. You know? It was just insane. And that was before the internet. And it is... everything like that just happened all the time. So yeah, it's just... Black razor blade. Big Dog knows what I'm talking about. I think he understands what I'm trying to say. It's just with the internet, you see all the bad in the world all the time. And it was always there all along. Just somebody peeled back the curtain and revealed it to everybody. Now everybody sees it all the time. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I'm sure there were mass shooters and stuff like that in different towns or cities and states. They shot the guy, buried him, and it was done. He was a quack and a weirdo. They killed the guy, buried him, and the story was done. He was one-off. He was a nut job. It was kind of crazy, but they went on about their lives. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to justify any kind of crime or activity. I'm just saying that it's always been there. That's my belief, my theory. Would you do the gay for 20,000? What the heck are these people's... I shouldn't even read that one out loud. You'll take a razor blade you need to shave? Yeah. Well, the sun's come out enough that my camera brightened up. But anyway, so we'll have a little fun this evening with some kids from around the town. I'm not going to point the gun at anybody. I promise. I'm not. I'm not going to be like aiming it and spraying people with plastic pellets. I'm not doing any of that stuff. It's not my intention at all. I just want to be, I don't know, I just want to, people just think I'm kind of, look at that strange guy up there, you know? I still got about this much coffee left, and it's warm. I'm doing good today. Doing pretty good. Dirty Dan. Dirty Dan says something. I'll take that as a yes. Am I Sigma? I don't know what Sigma is. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Oh, Dirty Dan says he's going to take. If I would do it. If I would do the gay stuff for 20,000. No. Oh my gosh. I'll answer her in a minute. You want to dress up as a transgender this Halloween? I work for the post office, and somebody else says I look like McGregor. It happens every stream. Would I do it for free? No, I'm not doing that either. That's not my preference. Am I a movie actor? I am not a movie actor. I'm just a postal worker living in Georgia that likes to get on here and chat with people with a cup of coffee. So yeah. Hey Daniel, how's it going, man? Americans being back Americans again. Yeah, when our biggest concern was which one tastes better, Coke or Pepsi, that type of stuff. That was the big drama. You like Coke? You like Pepsi? Whoa. That was our concern, in the middle of the Cold War, with the impending doom of the USSR could strike us with nuclear weapons and with total annihilation. We were worried about Pepsi and Coke in the 70s and 80s. Total different outlook on life. Bro's hair is somehow two-dimensional. I don't have much hair. I've just, two-dimensional hair. You might get drunk. Well, and then people will say, don't do it around kids. So don't point your drunkenness at kids today, okay? Oh, man. Yeah, it's very ironic. I didn't even think of that till now, the Coke or Pepsi thing. Or when new Coca-Cola came out, people were freaking out. That was news. That was headline news. It wasn't all the craziness of the world. Every once in a while you would see something about some conflict overseas, but unless the United States was actually in it, it wasn't in the news. It really wasn't. It was like their problem. Unless it had oil, of course. That's the whole argument. We go after it if it has oil. I think we should challenge Coke and Pepsi to get back on board and have us unified on which drink is better again. I blame Coke and Pepsi. You get drunk and operate an ice cream truck? Are you driving it or just a stationary ice cream truck? Point your drink at a kid. Vomit on demand in front of some kids and stuff. The reason I said don't point your drunkenness is because early in the conversation people were saying for me not to point my gun at kids, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to point my plastic fake gun at people. No, I'm not going to do that. Another cool idea that I might plan for next year, they divided America with Coke and Pepsi. Oh, and the TV ads were, stuff like that. It wasn't pop stars shaking their butts on the screen. It was like a little kid sharing his Pepsi with another kid, and they're like, Pepsi, yay! Oh my gosh. You watch those retro commercials, and it's just hilarious. Some of them are creepy in a way. You're like, I can't believe we watched that by today's standards, but a lot of them are just very nostalgic and bring back memories. You can find that on YouTube all day long. if they put Coke back in soda, Coke wins. So you drive drunk, but you sell ice cream to kids, so it evens out. So you got one good thing and one bad thing. Is that what it is? Well, hopefully you don't hit a kid. Red and blue states, Coke and Pepsi, right there. Coke and Pepsi states. What do you call the purple states then? Fanta? Do you call the purple states Fanta? I can't think of another purple drink. Or Gatorade or something like that. But as far as sodas go, it'd have to be Fanta. So it'd be Coke, Pepsi, and Fanta. And everybody's trying to get rid of Fanta, make it Coke or Pepsi. So now, I think we've unlocked something that people need to know. It's the Coke or Pepsi war. Faygo is huge in Michigan. I've never Faygo grape. I've never heard of that. Never heard of Faygo grape. I'm not smoking a cigarette. This is my incense we're burning today. And it came with this cool incense burner. Little turtle. Florida's Mountain Dew. I'm in Georgia. So we're Fanta. We're not Coke or Pepsi. We're the Foya grape. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been 30 minutes. I'll hang on for a few more minutes and we'll cut it off. Maybe 10 more minutes. We'll do 10 more minutes. How about that? And then we'll call it quits for the day. My channel's doing a little bit better with these coffee in the morning live streams. I'm actually getting some subscribers and stuff like that, and I really appreciate that, guys. For those of you who have subbed, I thank you. And I'm gonna do another oh, you watch Joe Rogan? Oh my gosh. Fact check everything you watch on the internet, regardless if it's Joe Rogan. And fact check me as well. I'm going to do another giveaway soon. Something. Last month I gave away a computer. But won't be that extravagant this time. Just for people who subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that type of stuff. So keep watching the little videos and things like that. You might be able to find out when the next one is going to be. Sending kids overseas right now. I don't know. I served 23 years. I joined when I was 17. So I guess I was a kid, but I volunteered. Nobody forced me to join. And there's a lot of quote unquote kids that join on their own. They volunteer. And it's a volunteer military. So kudos for them for taking up the service and for their country. You know, if that's what they want to do, they can do it. Nobody's pressuring them. Nobody's forcing them. So yeah. Sucker for a giveaway, subbed. I don't know what I want to give away. Something little. I've got this one little device that I'm thinking about giving away. I don't use it. It's practically brand new. It's you're in the Craig's in and across the world. It's evening time here, so he's going to tell us what's going to happen in the future. I guess you could. Diddy says Shua. I don't know if I'd name myself Diddy with the Diddy icon at this moment in time. Or any time in the future from that, I guess. What's one piece of advice I'd give myself, my younger self? Don't get married. Don't get married. Don't have kids. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Yeah, marriage is just a paper contract that you agree with the government. It's all it is. And then there's 8 billion people in the world. So the be fruitful and multiply thing, I think we got it covered. So, Daniel's in the Netherlands. It's after midnight there. What happened for you today, Daniel? 9:50 in Australia. That's awesome. Not where they say it's all his life is for making kids, reproduction. That's what it was before. It still is in a sense, but I just don't think it was for me. And yeah, if I could go back time and do it over, I would not have gotten married. I would not have had those kids, and they wouldn't exist. But I think it'd be okay because I had a nasty divorce. She brainwashed them, and I haven't spoken or seen to any of my kids in 3 years. But I still pay child support. She'll come after me for that. And one kid is not even my own. I pay child support for. That's a whole nother story. And one of my other coffee breaks that we had. So yeah, I'm a little bitter when it comes to marriage and kids. A little bitter. I mean, if I had to get married, I would not do it until I was like 30 or 35, and had been with somebody kid free for a few years. Yeah. So I don't know. There'd be a lot of stipulations, and definitely a prenup. Definitely a prenup. Oh man. No child support for other people's kids in Australia. I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened. So my best friend ended up having an affair with my ex and got her pregnant. And at the time, I was really religious, let's say, Catholic. So I was trying to do the right thing, and he left, disappeared, kinda. And I said, well, we'll raise him as our own, and I forgave her. Well, a few years later, she decided to get a girlfriend. Cheat on me again. Moved the girlfriend into the house. Basically pushed me out. So I filed for a divorce. Went through the whole divorce proceedings. At the first, she had like domestic violence charges, and she was a known drunk, and she admitted being drunk on the stand every single night. She thought it was no problem. All this stuff. So they gave me custody of the kids because I said I wanted to do the right thing again. Yeah, do the right thing. So I took them, and I had custody of them for about 2.5 years, and then she miraculously cleaned up her act. Did some online courses with Google, and they accepted that in the court. I got distracted by a comment. So when the one child turned 14, he had the right to choose which parent he wanted to live with, and she'd cleaned up her act. Now, he didn't come up with this on his own. She told him about it, and then he decided to live with her. And then the youngest one that's not mine, they didn't want to separate the kids, so the youngest one went with him as well, and that was it. And my argument was, he's not mine. We've established this in the court. Everybody in the court knew. My lawyer knew. Everybody. All the lawyers knew. The system knew. Everything. They knew that the actual dad lived up the road. Everything. And they held me accountable for child support because I took care of him. I accepted responsibility of him. I had not adopted him. He has no father on his birth certificate. But since I quote-unquote took care of him for that 2.5 years, I'm liable for him, and I have to pay child support until he turns 18. He's 12 right now. He's 12 right now. And, I try to make the argument with my, I went to my lawyer and said, what if I was just a stepdad? What if I married her and she already had the kids? and we got divorced, would I pay child support then? He said, no. Then why am I paying child support now for this kid that's not even mine? In the state of Georgia, and I consulted multiple lawyers after the fact, and they said I didn't have a case. There's nothing they could do. I didn't actually adopt him, but kind of in a sense, since I took care of him while she was cleaning up her act and got all better again. That was the presumption, if you will, and now I have to pay. And I'll go to prison if I don't pay. You're right. Yep, I will go to jail if I don't pay. And if I quit my job and become a homeless person and I don't have means to pay, I'll still go to jail. That's what I was told. I can't go get a job at Burger King because I will still be required to pay the child support that I'm making now, even if I was making less money. I could leave the country, but I have a retirement with the military and stuff like that, and I don't want to lose all that. So yeah. My actual son that was 14 at the time, he's going to be turning 18 in February. I won't have to pay for him anymore. I have to carry insurance. Yeah, all that good stuff. Paid thousands of dollars for this lawyer. Went and paid thousands through the whole divorce. The divorce took 40 years. We had no property. All we had was our cars. We were renting a house. Yeah. So it was like totally jacked up. Totally jacked up. So in my mind, I try to think of it as my act of charity or something like that. Oh yeah, the kid, he was 6 at the start of the divorce. His mom told him as soon as I filed divorce, told him, that's not your dad. Your real dad lives over here. He's just some guy. So he knew at the age of 6. And when I had him, he called me Malcolm. He didn't call me Dad after that. When you broke up with your second wife, told me I couldn't go back to my first wife because she was dead. She had looked it up on Google. Damn. So he was calling me Malcolm instead of Dad. And I mean, we got along. And my 14-year-old, my actual son, he was being brainwashed by her. And he just had this total resentment for me for like destroying the family. And I'm like, I didn't say this to him. I never tried to justify anything in front of my kids. But in my mind, I'm like, she's the drunk with disorderly conduct, been arrested, domestic violence charges with her and her girlfriend, all presented in court, cheated on me multiple times, and I'm the bad guy because I decided to leave. Yeah, that's how my kids got brainwashed. But when I had the youngest one, his name's Wiley. I got him in karate classes. He enjoyed that a lot. He would do his homework. They were all straight A students in the honor roll when they were with me. They all almost failed when they went back to her. And the last 6 months or so, we started jogging together. He wanted to run. So I was like, all right, let's do it, dude. And we were just making laps around the neighborhood. It was our nightly thing. We started doing that. And he was getting good at it. He struggled really hard at first. And it was his idea. And, but, you know, I paced with him and built up his stamina. And he was actually running. He lost some weight. He had a little bit of a belly he was concerned about for some reason. Probably because his mom said something. I don't know. I can't prove it. I didn't ask. I was like, you want to do it? Let's do it, man. And he was running and stuff. And he was proud of himself. And he would cheer me on too. He's like, "Come on, man, let's go, Malcolm, come on." And then I'm like, "I'm right there with you, buddy. Let's go." Yeah, that was pretty heartbreaking. I was really heartbroken. I'm about to get upset again, but um, anyway, I don't want to get upset. I want my day to be good. And thank you for letting me tell my little story, the brief version. The detailed version would be a book. Um, yeah. Anyway, um, I do technically, we have 50-50%, 50-50 custody. I am entitled to weekends with the kids. Um, but my oldest daughter is like 22 now. She never talked to me the day after I filed for divorce. She was 16, lived with mom, never spoke to her since. She refused to talk to me. She would walk away from me if I saw her in public. Totally ignore me. 14-year-old, he hasn't talked to me. Doesn't want to be around me. He told me he doesn't want to be around me. He said that in court that he doesn't want to be around me because I make him want to commit suicide. That's what he said. And then the argument with the youngest one, I never got to speak to him directly. But according to my ex, she said that he didn't want to be with me. And he didn't want to be with me alone. And he wasn't going to come with me unless his brother came too, and his brother wouldn't do it. So, I just didn't get to see him. Didn't get to see him. Fuck. I wish I had told that story, because now I'm getting upset. Just messed up. All right, I'm gonna end this stream. Go clean myself up. Hope you guys have a good day. And we'll try again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be better. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.